Hello and a big welcome to the channel. I'm the Motorsport Madman and this is Friday Practice 2 ahead of the 2022 United States Grand Prix. If you are new to the channel, if you are a Formula 1 fan, then please do get yourself subscribed. I'm live for every single qualifying and every single race from the Formula 1 World Championship. And please do drop me a like as well. It helps the YouTube algorithm pick me up and put me in the right category and maybe get the channel growing a little bit. So yeah, if you weren't here for FP1 a couple of hours ago, I think it was Carlos Sainz quickest from Verstappen. I think we saw Stroll in the top 4, so a good showing from Aston Martin. There was 4 debutants in FP1 a couple of hours ago. There was Logan Sargent, Theo Pourchaire, Alex Palau and Robert Schwartzman, and yeah, they were like the bottom 4 guys in the timing sheets, but what can you expect? Is the first run out in a proper session. But now it's the normal race drivers get the cars back, and let me turn down this music. Hopefully the green screen's not going to be on a mad one. Yes, Ryan, welcome to the stream. You've got a set ready. What, on your channel? Are we going on to your channel after this? Yeah, hopefully. This should be alright now. Right, we'll fast forward on that. But yeah, we're back. FP2. Yeah, as I was saying, it was Carlos Sainz quickest. I think it was 0.2 of a second from Verstappen. Hamilton was third. I think 0.4 of a second off the pace. And then it was Lance Stroll. So are Aston Martin going to pull a madness out of the bag this weekend? Probably not. But it's a good sign. It's a good sign. But yeah, the rookies have had a go, and now we go back to the regular drivers for the rest of the weekend. So how are we doing? Midnight setting coming. No StreamYard or anything for today. Only what? No StreamYard or anything today, but only next time there will be. How are you going to do it if you haven't got StreamYard? Or you mean just like record a video and upload a video or something of it? Or do you mean like live? Or you could go like live on your phone, or I don't know. Are you gonna do it tonight, is it? Yeah, I don't think much is going on tonight, to be honest with you. Except for FP2 in Austin, Texas. So get in. Let's go. Team principal press conference tomorrow, 5:25. Probably swerve that one, to be honest with you. That might be better watching paint dry. But it might be a little bit of an interesting one, actually, with all this cost cap drama. As you can see, with the news scrolling along the bottom, their statement, Red Bull's statement about breaching the cost cap has been delayed. Mercedes, with a new front wing, this race has been immediately banned. Yeah, the FIA have taken one look at that new Mercedes front wing and gone, not for me. And so that's it. Well, you don't know if you don't try. You don't know if you don't try. Mercedes have obviously pushed the boat out a bit too far. It had these little weird little winglets on it. Probably illegal, so that's the end of that. And do the set live through Streamlabs for people to listen. Oh, sick, Ryan. Yeah, I'll have a listen to that. What are you doing at midnight? I think this practice session is an hour and a half. I don't know if we'll find out in a minute. Let's see what they say. But I've got a feeling that this is a 90-minute session as opposed to a normal hour session. That might be due to be them testing 2023 tyres. Oh, turn 20 is the final. I thought turn 19 was. I think turn 20, the final corner, has actually been renamed Andretti Corner or Andretti Turn. I don't know. So we're on the C4, C3 and C2 tyres. Okay, middle of the range. No wet weather forecast for this weekend. So we've had a couple of disturbed races with Singapore and Japan, but this one's going to be straightforward in the Texan sunshine. Look at how steep it is up to turn 1. 29 degrees. Beautiful day. Beautiful afternoon. What time will it be there? 11 p.m. UK time. 5 p.m.? 5 p.m. Local time. Looking good in Austin, Texas. Look at the stage as well there behind the behind that viewing stand. I didn't realise how big that stage was. They do concerts there, don't they? Probably a concert there tonight and tomorrow night. Yeah, that platform, that's probably the best view of the entire year up there. I missed how high she said that platform is, but if you're scared of heights, you ain't going to the top of there, I tell you that for a fact. Although you might be that high up, it might be difficult to tell who's who. Especially everyone with special edition crash helmets as well. You'll be on a guessing one up there. But yeah, if you're doing set live, Ryan, I'll check it out. But I might be on. I've got, like I say, I've got a feeling this might be a 90-minute session. In which case, I'll be on till midnight. But we will see. When the timer starts, then it'll be obvious, and then I'll put my timer on in accordance with that. They were going to do a 2023 tyre test in Japan, I believe, in FP2 in Japan, but because of the rain, the weather was just abysmal in Japan a couple of weeks ago, so they couldn't do the tyre test, and so it's been pushed forward to, I assume, right now. That's the Drivers' Championship. Everyone with points, apart from Nico Hulkenberg, who just did, I think, the first 2 races of the season for Aston Martin. He didn't get any points, but De Vries did. De Vries on the board with 2 points from Monza. And even now, Nicholas Latifi on the board with 2 points from Japan last time out. Coach, such a beautiful track. Yeah, it is, man. It is. It is a nice circuit. And yeah, so Daniel Ricciardo's got his car back for this session, and he's another driver with a special edition crash helmet for this weekend. And it's a nice one. He's got the gold and black with like some sort of tiger on the side, or I don't know. There was a 2012 inaugural race. Yes. Oh, you were there. I thought you were telling me that the first race of 2012. I was like, I know. No, oh, you were there in 2012 for the first one. Was it packed out in 2012? Because I feel like the US market was not that into it when it first arrived. I feel like it's only in the last 2 or 3 years that the US market has really cottoned on to Formula One. I feel like in 2012 it might have been a bit of a niche. To be a Formula One fan in the US is still probably a bit of a niche, but 10 years ago, I reckon being a Formula One fan in the US was like, what? I bet it was like completely, I bet no one had ever heard of it. So, and I don't remember, but it can't have been a full house in 2012, surely. But now, America fully got hold of this sport. Now, there's going to be 3 races next year. We've got Miami, this one in Austin, Texas, and Las Vegas. So 3 races in America next year, which some people don't agree with, but I think it's perfectly fine, as long as we get a South African Grand Prix, because no point in 3 races in America, but we completely miss an entire continent. And when you're calling it a world championship, you're probably best off going round the world. So we could do with a Kyalami Grand Prix in South Africa, but yeah, 3 races in America I've got no issue with. I'd rather have races in America than more races in the Middle East, put it that way. Are rookies done for today? Yes. They just take part in Friday practice 1, do the rookies, reserves and backups and all the rest of it. They just take part in the one session, because it'd be too much for the race drivers to miss more than one session. You know, missing a session is already pretty detrimental. To miss 2 sessions would be terrible in Spanish. Horrible. So yeah, it is a 90-minute session, so we're 1 hour 27 minutes on the clock. I'll get my timer ready in a sec to reflect that. We hadn't had F1 in the States since 2007. Yeah, man. It wasn't. Yeah, exactly. It wasn't on the radar in the US until it came back to this. Yeah, it used to be at Indianapolis, didn't it? They used to do like an infield section and everything. Wait, let me get the live times up for a start. I'll worry about the clock in a minute. But yeah, live timing should be live. Yeah, so it's a 90-minute session, and I think they are testing 2023 tyre compounds. Fair enough. Well, they've got to test it at some point, I suppose, especially with winter testing being like 6 days or something like that. I feel like winter testing is going to be 2 lots of 3 days. I feel like 6 days tops, maybe even 5 days. It's winter testing, so good to test the new tyres now in preparation. Yeah, but they used to race in Indianapolis, didn't they? Yeah, but way back. Well, way back for me. That's when I first started watching Formula One. When it was when they used to race in Indy with the infield section and everything, and it was Hamilton versus Alonso, separated by the width of a cigarette paper. I even remember the commentary line as they went side by side into turn 1. I was in Miami this year. No way. 2 races, 10 years apart. I haven't been to a race for a few years. The last race I went to was a Mexican Grand Prix about 5 years ago. So I'm overdue. But the British Grand Prix is so hellishly expensive, and you have to have the ticket somewhat of a year in advance. And I don't really have any close friends that are major into Formula One that are willing to spend like 600 quid on a ticket. And am I going to go on my ones? Probably not. So it's one of them. I would love to see one in Morocco. Morocco. Oh, there's a shout, yeah. Moroccan Grand Prix. In fact, it'd be better logistically to have a race in Morocco. You don't fly in another 4,000 miles or whatever it would be to go south. I want to go to Spa. Yeah, me too. Yeah, Spa. Spa's on the bucket list. Monza. For me, Monza's like number 1. I'd love to go to the Australian Grand Prix at Albert Park as well. But yeah, Monza probably be top of my list. Spa, yeah. The thing is, you could get absolutely soaked at Spa though. Like, I feel like Spa would be like a messy one. Yeah, what else? Yo, Gav, welcome to the stream. That must include the bus story. What's that? Oh, the Mexican, going to the Mexican Grand Prix. Yeah. Well, I lived there for 3 years. So I was on a few buses during that time. Yeah. Mexican GP. And what an atmosphere that was, I tell you now. I was in that stadium section at the end as well. At the end of the lap. And yeah, opposite the podium. So it was mega. That was a few years ago. Flipping Rosberg won. He's been retired about 6 years on it. But yeah. they've got Danica Patrick in the commentary box with the legend that is Mario Andretti, 1978 Formula One world champion, who I seen a video of him the other day in, like, I don't know, I want to say like a 2013 F1 car, ragging it round Laguna Seca at 82 years old. Mad one, that. We're on board front wing with one of the Ferraris. Imagine you could tell just by driving style which driver it was. Now that would be, yeah, you just get front wing cam and you know from driving style whether it's Leclerc or Sainz. Now that would be next level. Hamilton won 2012 at Cota. Yeah. I think he's won this race like 4 times, I feel like. Lewis has had a good record. Well, has got a good record round this circuit. Yeah. I wonder if he can win this weekend. What do you reckon? Lewis Sunday night. No, it's a long shot, innit? I'd love to see Lewis win this season. I'd love to see him win. Well, we're on a drone. We've got drone cam down to the turn. Is that turn 9, the hairpin? Wow, we're on a drone cam one. Really? That's new. Fastest sector 2. Charles Leclerc goes purple, middle sector. I might have to refresh the timings. I don't know how live is live. Let me just see if it updates. So Kevin Magnussen is... I'll refresh the live timings if it's... not exactly live. So Kevin Magnussen round turn 19. As wide as you want on the exit. Right, so he's coming up to the line now. Yeah, it's not live. Wait there. We might need a cheeky refresh. Yeah, we'll hit a cheeky refresh on the live timings. Would it be easy if I did a set, say, around 7 PM tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow I'm live at 10 to 8. Yeah. 10 to 8 for practice 3 at 8 PM. And then qualifying, I think, starts at 11 PM. So, yeah, this would be the time that qualifying's on tomorrow. So, yeah, qualifying at 11 PM. So, I'll be live at 10 to 11 for that. So, yeah, you could do a set before that. Whatever you want, mate. Whatever you want, lad. You could even just record one and upload it. I think you did that once before, didn't you? Where you recorded a set and uploaded it as a video. I'm sure you've done one before, like 6 months ago, something like that. Yeah. Had some bangers in there as well. Lewis messing about with DRS going up the hill towards I don't know, I need to memorise the corner numbers around here. Do. Yeah, he did. Yeah, I remember. So early on, we're 12 minutes into FP1. 12 minutes into FP2, and it is a Ferrari 1-2. Leclerc from Sainz by 1.1 seconds. Bottas goes up into third then, 1.4 seconds off the pace. Now, I wonder if we've got a sort of a mixed situation here where potentially you've got some drivers on the experimental 2023 compound, and some drivers on the normal. Like, I feel like we're watching Bottas there in Sector 1. I feel like he's just on a normal set of mediums. I mean, I don't know for sure, but I feel like the 2023 tyres have no sidewall markings. I think that's the case, that the 2023 tyres have no markings on the side. Now, we're looking at Charles Leclerc at the end of the back straight. He's on a set of mediums, surely. Like a normal, like a regular set of medium tyres. So, I don't know. I don't know if we've got a mixture where some drivers are on the experimental tyres and some drivers are on, I don't know. So on hairpin turn 11. Is that the bottom of the hill? Or is that the end of the straight? Let me have a look at the track map. Kota. I need to memorize the like which corner's which, you know what I mean, like number wise. Like I know the layout, but do you know what I mean? Oh, I see. Yeah, so turn 11, bottom of the hill. Yeah, yeah. Not a bad place to be. The thing where the races that I've been to, in person, I've only ever sat at a place where they're going low speed, like that turn 11 where you're just seeing them in a braking zone doing 40 mile an hour around a tight bend. Like when I've been to Silverstone, you know, I've set at the new Sector 1 where it's like, I think they call it Farm Curve and the Loop, and that's slow speed. When I went to the Mexican Grand Prix, I was in the stadium section. That's a slow speed. But next time I go to one, I want to see them at full speed. So like Maggotts Beckett's at Silverstone, or you know, Sector 1 in Japan, or Sector 1 here, or you know, somewhere where you go, wow, because I've not really had that. Somewhere where, you know, you go, I tell you what's a good one. In Australia, you know, you've got that fast left-right in the middle of the lap. I don't know. I think it used to be turn 9 and 10, but they've changed the layout, so it might be like turn 8 and 9. I don't know. But there's a near enough flat-out left-right in Australia. Now, being there, chef's kiss. Yeah, that's the place to be. Then you get the full I don't know, value for money, I don't know, the full effect of it. So yeah, we're 15 minutes into the session. In fact, let me get a timer up, because this session is longer than normal due to them testing tyres. See, I think that's Sebastian Vettel. He's on next year's tyres, which the fact that he's retiring means that's pretty weird, isn't it? He doesn't need to test. Well, it's data for the team, and it's data for the team. But he won't be racing on 2023 tyres, will Seb? What's it called? My Timer or something. My Stream Timer. There he is. I'm going to need to alter the dimensions of the flipping. Right, so how many minutes? 73. 70. Yeah, 70. 73 minutes. And right, now what I'll have to do is, it's not 13 minutes left. I'll have to go like that. It's 1 hour 13 minutes. There we go. That'll do. So that's the timer on. That's the live timings on. Boom, away we go. Yes, City Extra in the house. I assume it's you, Jordan. It could be LB on a sneaky one. Welcome in, whoever it is. I assume it's you, Jordan, but yes, lad. I owe you 50 quid for that retweet, bro. Heavy charges on those retweets, man. LB on a sneaky. Nah, you're having me on it. Ain't LB on a sneaky one, but if it is, respect, bro. When are we having a Monaco shootout? Oh, bollocks to your Monaco shootout anyway. You beat me. You believe you have to turn 11 in DRS zone? Yeah, it is. It is, DB, yeah. I think there's only one DRS zone. Is that right? I feel like there's only one DRS zone. Or is it... Oh, no. There'd be DRS up to turn 1 as well. I think. Yeah, yeah, 2 DRS zones. Up to turn 1. And down to turn 12. Back straight. Dream seat for me would be watching for the new seats at Radio Rouge at Spa. Oh yeah, they built a massive grandstand, haven't they? By the way, welcome to the stream, Salty Dog. Yeah, that would be an epic one. The brand new massive grandstand at Spa at the top of Radion, actually. At the top of Radion. Yeah, that would be a beast of a place to watch. Australia turn 9 and 10 would be a good one. What else would be good? Bahrain, meh. Saudi. Don't fancy Imola. Miami, meh. Azerbaijan, meh. Canada. Canada would be a good one to go to. I mean, this one would be a good one to go to. Is there a grandstand on the outside of Sector 1 here? Or Japan Sector 1? Or where Martin Brundle is right now? Whoa, no, he can't be. He can't be. Oh, my God. Do you know what I thought? I thought, Martin, what are you doing? You're in a dangerous spot there, but he is sort of behind the barrier in a way. But that's a mad place. I always say it every time they do these sort of trackside things that Martin Brundle does. I always think he's in a position that money can't buy there. Even the stewards don't get to stand there, bro. He's so close to the track, it's almost dangerous. You agree with that? I can't remember what I said. But cheers. The Las Vegas race on the Strip. Oh, yeah. That would cost a fortune, that. Imagine how much like the hotel rooms are going for. Like a hotel room overlooking the Strip on the weekend of the Grand Prix, on the Saturday night. They're doing a Saturday night Grand Prix there. Imagine that. It's got to be, that'd be like... They'll be charged like 10 grand a night or something wild. It'll be absolutely wild to get a... Yeah, hotel room with a view, with a balcony, looking over the Strip on the Saturday night of the Las Vegas Grand Prix next year, next November. Yeah, win the Euro Millions, you might have a chance in it. It's one of them. That'll be really... That'll already be like fully booked, I bet. It'll already be signed, sealed, delivered, every single room gone. Or, you know, gives you 25 grand. It'd be like, you know, those big boxing fights, those like big heavyweight fights where the tickets are just like stupid prices, like it's whatever you want, you know what I mean? If you want to be in the front row of like a heavyweight title fight, you know, you're paying like 25 grand or some stupid number. It'd be like that Las Vegas Grand Prix. It'll be a stupid number to you know what I mean, to be there. or to be anywhere near it anyway, to be like trackside, that's going to be unbelievable. I mean, what a backdrop that is, though. But I've seen the layout, and it doesn't look fantastic, to be fair. But it's a street race. It's not going to be. It's not going to have an unbelievable track layout, is it, in the streets of Las Vegas? But it'll be a spectacle, that's for sure. It'll be an unbelievable backdrop for TV and all the rest of it. It'll look cool, is what I'm trying to say. It'll certainly look cool, but I hope we get a good. I hope it's a good circuit as well. The Las Vegas race on the Strip would be a cool scene. It will be, exactly. Even a recession, you're right. There's tickets. Oh, those tickets will be already gone. You've got Anthony Davis taking us through a lap on board with Daniel Ricciardo in the final sector. I don't know. Is he on a set of soft tyres? He's gone green sector 1 and 2. We're still sat here with a Ferrari 1-2 after 23 minutes. Bottas third, Ricciardo is fourth, and looking like he's going to improve. He's got personal best sector 1 and 2, round turn 19. The final corner, which I think's been renamed Andretti corner, nicely on the exit, goes up to second, so splits the Ferraris. It's now Leclerc, Ricciardo, Sainz, Bottas, Norris. Leclerc's gone considerably faster than everyone else. It's sort of okay. It looks like Alonso is on the 2023 compound, as well as whichever Mercedes that is in front of him. But yeah, I think there's a mixture. I think you've got some drivers on the 2023 compound and some drivers on a regular run of the mill medium or soft compound for this weekend. So I think that's why there's such a weird discrepancy in the lap times at the minute, where you've got like Leclerc rapid, Ricciardo like 8/10 off, and then everybody else like 3 seconds off the pace, because they're probably on like a 2023 tyre, just not really giving it, not unleashing the full potential, just on a testing one. Your skin and bone. Sky love throwing an ad break during practice. Flipping. I swear they do practice in like 15-minute segments. But yeah, Leclerc from Ricciardo. I mean, I'd take that in the race on Sunday, wouldn't you? Leclerc, Ricciardo, Bottas podium. Yeah, that would be an epic race if you end up Leclerc, Ricciardo, Bottas. Yeah, I'd take that right now. Ricciardo, cheeky P2, Bottas podium. I remember Bottas had such a good start to the season this season that I was predicting Bottas podiums in like Spain, and it nearly come off as well. I was predicting Bottas podiums early in the season, and not even being that crazy about it, just being, it was a little bit of an out, a little bit of an underdog shout, but now in the second half of the season, to predict Bottas on the podium would be outrageous. You might as well predict Latifi on the podium. Alfa Romeo are one of the teams that have really fallen off. I think they scored 1 point in the last 9 races, Alfa Romeo. And they had such a good... The thing is, they scored 51 points in the first 9 races, and then 1 point since, I think. It's something like that. Bottas was finishing P6, P8, P5, P7, and then second half of the season, I think he had 3 DNFs in a row at one point. 4 out of 5 DNFs or something. Mad. And then Zhou Guan Yu, he's not set the world on fire, as he's been decent, good enough to get another season, but it's not been unbelievable. So, you know, Zhou Guan Yu's hardly been raking in the points. I think Zhou's got 4.5 points, maybe. No more than 6. So yeah, there's been a couple of teams. Haas have, as well, really dropped off the points. They were another team that had a great start to the season. You know, Magnussen bagging top 6s. Then they had an incredible British Grand Prix, Austrian Grand Prix did Haas, and they've not scored a point since. You know, I think they were like 6th and 8th. Wow. As we see Alonso racing Hamilton in the back end of the lap. I mean, it does look like they're in the middle of a race there. Alonso obviously complaining of Lewis ahead. So, whoa, and Lando Norris giving it full beans on the pit lane entry. And whoa, big oversteer moment and nearly hits the wall on the entry of the pit lane. Ew. That was a mad one from Lando Norris. Bit of a sideways in the pit lane is risky to say the least, if not dangerous. Ah, I see. So they've got the T for the testing. That's good, right. So we've got some clarity on the tyres. Well, we did have until they took the graphic off. So I think everyone other than the top 4 has set their fastest lap time on this testing tyre, this 2023 experimental compound. We did have a graphic on screen then. Is it on the... Oh yeah, you can see it. On my graphic, it's got a question mark in the middle. Yeah, question mark tyre. Get in. Not soft, not medium, not hard. Question mark. Yeah. So, yeah, only the top 3 have set a respectable lap time on the current tyres. Everybody else has set their best lap time on the mystery tyre. Yeah. Zhou has 6 points, yeah. And Bottas has the rest, which is like 46 or something like that. 40, yeah, I think Bottas got 46 points if I remember correctly. And then Zhou with another 6 puts him on 52. Yeah, that's it. Well, they could do with scoring a few more points before the end of the season because Aston are catching him. Aston can drag Alfa Romeo into a battle for 6th in constructors. If they keep going the way they're going, and you know, Lance Stroll was P6 in practice as well before. No, sorry, it was like P4. But Vettel was P6 in the Japanese Grand Prix. They've been getting some points lately. They've soon gone from... Aston Martin were P9 in constructors for most of the season. In the last few races, bang, they're up to P7. And I tell you what, they're only like, I don't know, like, I want to say like less than 20 points behind Alfa Romeo for 6th, I think. I think Aston Martin have got like 39 points. Something like that. And Alfa Romeo are on 56. Is that right? 52 or something like that. 52. Anyway, Aston Martin, the way they're going, can fight for P6 in constructors. And then you've also got a big fight between, I think Haas and AlphaTauri have got exactly the same points. I think they both got 34 points, Haas and AlphaTauri. Yeah, so... And then obviously you've got the big battle for P4 as well between Alpine and McLaren, which Alpine should win that, but you never know. If Daniel Ricciardo bucks his ideas up in the last 4 races, should go to the final round. Something big is loose around my pedals, says Kevin Magnussen. That's not good. You don't want something loose in the pedal box. That could be absolutely tragic. So yeah, you've got Leclerc on a 36.8 on the mediums. Bottas 7 tenths off on the soft. Ricardo 8/10 off in the soft, on the soft tyre, and then everybody else on the testing tyre everyone's at least 2.5, 3 seconds off the pace. Maybe they're an experimental set of hard tyres. Maybe, I would assume. Okay, replay Alexander Albon up into turn 1. Not that dramatic, really. Barely worth a replay. Tiny bit of a lock-up. Runs a little bit wide in turn 1. Yeah, a little puff of smoke. You'll get away with that. And replay on board with Charles Leclerc then. Sector 1, turn 7 and 8. Yeah. Loses a rear end momentarily, but manages to keep it under control. Oh, Alex Palou is in the commentary booth with Sky, so let's have a listen. No, we can't. Actually, I saw a tweet from Alex in between the sessions just saying, like, it was incredible, to drive the McLaren F1 car. Radio comment of the weekend. I must have missed that. They're saying that Alex Palou said on the team radio during the FP1 that this car is insane or something. They said, oh, you're braking too late into turn 1 or something, and he's like, this car's just mad. I suppose when you're stepping out of an Indy car into a Formula 1 car, you've got to recalibrate your brain into what the car can do. You're so used to what an Indy car can do. He's probably braking where you brake in an Indy car, he's got to recalibrate himself if he's switching over to Formula 1. We're on a different gravy. Yeah, much more acceleration. McLaren have got this fancy new advertising board on the car, like electronic sponsorship logos, but you can't see them. It's on a spot on the car unless they're not running it. Maybe it was just for like a Thursday session, I don't know, but they're in such a place on the car, right next to the driver's helmet on the flat bit. Maybe you could see it from the onboard camera, I don't know, but when you're off board you don't even see it. So it's like this amazing new innovation, but it's not serving a purpose. We see Lewis in the garage. Mercedes bringing a new front wing to this event, but I don't think they're going to be running it anymore because the FIA have had one look at that new Mercedes front wing and said, nope, you're not having that. I think it's to do with these little notches, these little tiny little winglets that they've got going across the top strake of the front wing. Obviously pushing the bar too much and has been deemed illegal. So hope they've not spent too much on that, because that was a flash in the pan. FP1 only for that front wing. So yeah, still only the top 3 times on the regular tyres. From Sainz down, it's basically a test session. It's your ways. How are we doing? Well to the streamer ways. But yeah, what I was saying is this practice session is more like a test session than a practice session. This is just about getting the laps done on this experimental 2023 tyre, rather than it is really, which is not that ideal for the say if you're a driver that's already lost out on FP1 because you've given your car to a rookie. So say you're like, let's say Magnussen or Bottas or Latifi. You've given your car for FP1 to a rookie, which is fine, and then in FP2 you're on irrelevant tyres doing tyre testing for next year. You'd be kind of like, oh, come on, guys, just put me a set of normal tyres on. I need to get myself bedded in for the weekend. Maybe they are only doing the tyre test for a certain portion of this practice session. I don't know. Yes, good away. I'm good aways. How was your birthday? Now that you are the big 18 lad, how did it all go down? What did you get, lad? Did you have a good time? Thing is, we can't even have a Denvercast to celebrate it because Denver's on a sensible sober one because he's got his fight coming up in a couple of weeks, so we can't even have a massive session. Well, I mean, it'd be more difficult to do a session. I mean, I wouldn't do it on here unless you want to set up a channel and do one. But yeah. But happy birthday anyway for the other day, Aways. Big 18. I don't even remember what I did for my 18th. I think I got a cake in the shape of a driver's helmet or something. I probably went bowling or something with a couple of mates. I don't think it was like a heavy like drinking session or anything like that. I think it was just on like I was still on like a bowling and cinema thing, you know, like when you're a kid. I probably did something like that. I don't even remember. I don't even remember. So it can't have been that good, can it? My 18th. Oh, I don't remember what happened. Unless it was that good that I don't, you know what I mean? Unless I got absolutely steaming there, but nah. Bishop's good mate went out with family, yeah. Going out with mates next week, yeah. That's when you have a proper session. Yeah, it was good. I got chocolates and vape so far. Sick, man. Chocolates and vape. You're on a healthy one then, are you, Waze? Just add beer to that, and you've got a perfect diet, haven't you? Beer, chocolate, and vape, and an early grave. I appreciate it. Yeah. When he's back on it, we're back on it, definitely. I think he'd be like, when's the fight? November 6th, so like November 7th, 8th? Boom. Big driller. Until then, we just got to tread water. We just got to be on a patient one. See who else is knocking about, but there's probably not many streams. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, 50 minutes to go in this lengthened Friday practice 2 due to them testing 2023 tyres. So yeah, 90-minute session as opposed to the normal 1 hour. They tried to do this in Japan, but due to heavy rain, we were not able to do so. So they've done it today. So get in. Everyone's out there, by the way, apart from 4 cars. There's only Leclerc, Bottas, Schumacher and Magnussen in the pits. Everyone else is out there, so it's a busy circuit. 49.5 minutes to go. We're on board with Sergio Perez up into turn 1. So next week, the week after, because his fight is on the Sunday. Yeah, weekend after, innit? Yeah. Mind you, he'd probably be craving a beer that much that he'll get on it on fucking Monday night or something. If he wins on the Sunday, well, it depends when he's going to come back home, innit, as well. Because if he gets on a session there, then it's obviously it's not going to be on stream. He's going to be with his mates in Phuket or whatever it is. But when he's back home, if he's won, the night he gets back home, bang, he's coming home for crate. You know it. And if he loses, he'll be drowning in his sorrows anyway. So either way, Aye, son. You're not allowed on that COD, you're too young. I was watching you doing that campaign last night. Looked solid, that. Looked good, though. It looked really good from what I saw. It does look really good, actually. I've seen. Is it real, this show? Right, I keep seeing this clip of from COD of some scene in Amsterdam, and I feel like it's fake because the graphics are that good. I'm like, nah. But is that real? That you must know about the clip. It's all over social media. I see it every flipping third post. Is this clip of them, some guy walking around Amsterdam on COD, and it looks real. Is that real? You did it? Mad. When I saw that, I was like, nah, this is some like Unreal Engine 5 like concept thing. You know what I mean? You know those like dev videos where it's like, this is Unreal Engine 5 2024 demo. I thought it was one of them. Not console. Yeah. PC Ultra in it. That screams PC Ultra. That, yeah. Live again in a sec. Oh, he's doing the other half. Oh, yeah, going for it. I think Bottas is still. Are they still on the? Are they still on this experimental tyre? I wonder if at 45 minutes they will ditch the 2023 tyres. I wonder. I wondered when I'd be seeing you, Mr. Potter. Last night. I might have to have a look back at that. Yeah. Mad one. It was time for a step forward anyway, because them games have been looking the same for like a decade, so they were due like a leap forward in graphics, and it's looking like it has taken a leap forward. But yeah, we've still got, it's still Leclerc from Bottas from Ricciardo, because they're the only 3 times set on the normal tyres. Everyone else is basically on a test session, testing experimental tyres for next season. So the lap times are not really relevant from third down. You know, they're a good 2.7, 2.8, 3 seconds off the pace. The guys down the bottom end are 3, 4 seconds off the pace. So I imagine it's like definitely got to be a harder compounder tyre that they're testing out. Onboard replay, Lewis Hamilton round turn 19. He's wide, track limits. Whoa! Right over the serrated curves and nearly loses the rear end. Oh, that's a massive moment. He's lucky not to bin that in the wall there, Lewis Hamilton. That was a serious double snap. And then Norris as well had to run really wide. But Norris just bailed out of it. Lewis just stuck with it on the green. On that green strip there. Oh, that was a dangerous one. Yeah, do it tonight. Go for it, Sean. Now, we're halfway through the session, because it was a lengthened 90-minute session. So we're halfway through the session. Are they going to put the tyres... Are they going to put the normal tyres back on now, or how does it work? Or is the entire session a test session? This is like an extra day of winter testing. This is what this is. This is FP2 / winter testing day 1 is what this is. And look at where Martin Brundle stood there. Again, he is in a position money could not buy. He's on the inside of turn 15. Yeah, you ain't getting a spot there. Stood on the grass. on the inside of the Tech Pro barrier in the inside of turn 15. Yeah, priceless vantage point from Martin Brundle in these FP2 sessions. It's mad. Exactly, Flabby G. It's mad what you can do when you've you know, 30 years of Formula One commentary behind you. You can go where you want, mate. And it is a weird corner as well. That section is weird because you have to go really wide on the entry. It's almost against what's normal. You have to go really wide and completely miss the first apex and then cut in to get that perfect exit. You have to go right round. It's weird. You have to go round the outside, almost on the outside curb, right round the outside, and then cut in, bang, clip the apex. And you got to be, I mean, I don't know if the game relates to real life, but you got to be careful on the power coming out of there. You certainly have on the game anyway. They're probably more stable in real life. But yeah, you got to get it straightened up and be careful on the throttle. In fact, it was on that exit of that curb that there was that driver that they had sausage curbs on the exit of turn 15, and she bounced the car. I don't know if it was like W Series or Formula 4 or something. And she bounced the car over the sausage curb on the exit of turn 15, that exact spot where Martin Brundle was, and broke her back when the car landed back down. Heavy one, that. I think it was like a W Series a couple of years ago. And since then, I don't think they've got those sausage curbs there anymore. Because the first one flipped the car up, and then it went bang, and she broke her back. Sausage curves are nothing but a danger. I think they're phasing them out now, actually. You know what I mean? They had a phase of putting sausage curves everywhere, and now I feel like they're slowly deleting them again. Yeah, it was a bad one. I seen it on Twitter. It was 2 or 3 years ago now. But I think it was that women's series. Either that or like Formula 4 or something. And yeah, it was at that spot. She went over. They had these sausage curves, but like side on, so like road humps. The first one flipped the car up like to this angle, and then it slapped back down. And she said she knew immediately that she'd broken her back. Mad one. I can't remember which driver it was. Can't remember her name. Wild. Sky and another ad break. But yeah, this is basically a glorified extra day of winter testing. This is what this is, because they don't. And to be fair, they need it because there isn't many days of testing. There used to be 8 days of winter testing. I feel like there's only 6 now. 2 lots of 3 at like, I don't know, like mid-Feb, end of Feb. They have like 3 days, and then a week later another 3 days, and that's it. So they've got to get these. They've got to get some mileage on these tyres, but it's not really a practice session. The times are like irrelevant. We don't even know. Like the fact that the tyre compound is a question mark says it all. But yeah, it is what it is. We can waffle on for another 38.5 minutes. Listen, I bridged a 2-hour red flag at the Japanese Grand Prix 10 days ago, so we can do a practice session / test session. Yeah, so it's Leclerc, Bottas, Ricciardo, Sainz, Mick Schumacher, P5 get in. I mean, these times are totally irrelevant. But yeah, Leclerc, Bottas, Ricciardo, Sainz, Schumacher, Norris, Verstappen, Hamilton, Gasly, Perez, Magnussen, Tsunoda, Russell, Zhou, Stroll, Ocon, Alonso. Alpine don't like these new tyres, do they? 16th and 17th. Albon, 18th. Vettel, Latifi. Yeah, Alpine are like, we don't fancy it. The FIA announced several procedural changes effective immediately. Is this right now? Has someone just tweeted this right? Oh no, this is ages ago. Why send me a notification of a tweet from 8 hours ago? As if it's live. Right, let's get back to the live coverage. See what's going on. Oh, Alonso, big oversteer moment, go down the hill on the exit of turn 1. And on board with Kevin Magnussen at turn 1 as well. Looks a bit of a handful. He's 11th at the moment. I think it's still on the experimental. I think it's still on next year's tyres. So they're obviously out for the full session. I had an idea that they would do like the first half of the session with as a test, and then the second half of the session as normal. But nope, it looks like it's the entire session with the weird tyres. So yeah, Kevin Magnussen down to turn 11, and it's a weird one. Turn 11, you don't really want to be too eager on the power going up the hill. This has been all resurfaced up to turn 12. Not really on the apex, Kevin Magnussen. Now he's into the final sector. Danica Patrick asking what's the best passing zones. The final sector's great for overtaking it. In fact, it is a good circuit for overtaking because you don't really see passes into turn 1, but obviously into turn 12, yes. But the final sector offers this, I think it's designed intentionally this way, but it offers a great sort of scenario where you can switch back, and then they can switch back on you, and then you can switch back on them, and it offers this nice. And also into turn 15 you can just dive because it's so wide, and because the racing line means that you're on the outside, and then like we're saying, you're on the outside of turn 15, then you cut in last minute. Well, if you're racing someone and the track's really wide there, you see it all the time, you see it every single year, people just dive bomb in at turn 15, so that can create great racing, like turns 12 to like the long turn 16, 17, 18. Is that to count as 3 corners, that long right-hander? I think it does. I think that long right-hander counts as 3 corners. That's mad. But from turn 12 to turn 16, 17, 18, you can have great battles. So the final sector is actually really, well, middle sector / final sector is actually great for racing. Obviously, you don't get passes in sector 1. If you don't get the pass done at turn 1, you got to wait then. It's single file all the way down to the bottom of the hill. Turn 11, you might see someone have a cheeky dive bomb into turn 11, but it's less common that a dive bomb, because it is wide enough. And we're seeing Perez at turn 11 there. It's wide enough to just go full send at turn 11, but you're better off lining it up, getting right behind him in the braking zone, and just lining it up for DRS down the back straight, and then battling it out with DRS and battery and all the rest of it. And then this is the section now, so turn 13, you can go side by side, you can get a nice switchback, and then you can dive bomb just like Perez has done on one of the Williams there into turn 15. Yeah, they've got rid of the sausage curves on the exit of that corner for reasons I was saying before. Noob question. I'm all about noob questions. Don't worry about ask whatever you want to ask. Ask what the hell is this if you want. New question. If you damage a front wing, how many front wings are on standby? That is a good question, of which I do not know the answer to. But somewhere in the region of 5. More than 3, less than 7. Yeah. I'll say... Because you've got to account for what if both cars crash, okay? So, let's say it's Alfa Romeo, and they both crash. So, so you've got to at least have 2 spare wings, and then they could both crash again. Unlikely 4. Yeah, at least, I'd say at least 4 spares. Yeah. But it's a good question. Yeah, I don't know. It's probably different for each team. I remember a scenario where, especially if it's a newly developed front wing, I remember a situation where, let's say there was 2 fantastic, top of the range, latest design front wings. One for one car, one for another, right? I've seen this scenario before. So they bring the latest, greatest front wing, right? One for each driver. Now what happens is, your lead driver, so let's say it's Verstappen at Red Bull, your lead driver, let's say Verstappen, crashes the car with that fancy new front wing on it. I've seen a scenario before where they take that fancy new front wing off of Perez and give it to Verstappen. Well, not with those 2 drivers, so with different 2 drivers, but they take that fancy new front wing and give it to the lead driver. Because there's only 2 of them, and they want the fastest driver with the latest parts. Madness. So that can sometimes happen when it's limited. But on a normal situation, yeah, there's probably about 4 spares. I'd a guess. Not as many as 6 or 7. That'd be a bit daft, but probably about 4. Yeah, team dynamic changes things, exactly. And if you've only got one of a brand new part, then it becomes essential not to well, it's always essential not to crash, but it becomes even more critical when you've got like a fancy new front wing that's only just like hot off the press, and you get one, you give it to your driver, it's like, you know, I know the protocol is don't crash, but today, please don't crash. We've only got one of these. But yeah, there was got a few spares. For I don't think I've seen anyone retire on the fact that there's no more front wings left. I'll put it that way. I don't think anyone's been that bad where they've ran out of front wings. Put it that way. Where they just keep smashing up the front wing and they come into the pits, a new one, and then there's like, we haven't got any more. That's it. I've never seen that. That would be something to behold. I think I saw a car retire because I have seen cars retire on bizarre circumstances, but running out of front wings, I don't think I've seen. They've got Logan Sargent now in the commentary box with Danica and Rachel. Is she called Rachel? Yeah, so Logan Sargent is currently racing in Formula 2, just telling him about his outing in FP1 a couple of hours ago, saying that the change of direction in the high speed is on a different level. Indeed it is. But yeah, we're less than half an hour to go now, 27 minutes and 50 seconds to go to be exact. And yeah, basically just a testing session. Even Max has retweeted me. Get in. Go on, Max. Mad thing. Big up to the guys, to everyone that supports me. Please do drop me a like. I know this stream has not been, it's not the most exciting, entertaining stream in the world, but we get onto the proper stuff tomorrow night. Practice 3, the final practice session will be at 13 sets. Oh, wow, the whole stream just glitched out. Well, apologies if it went off for a split second. I think we're back. We've been back 11 seconds, 12 seconds, yeah. Sorry if I glitched out there for a few seconds. But yeah, all good. Yeah, something happened there. The whole stream's reset itself, which means nothing to me, but anyway, Brad Pitt in the house, yeah. So every driver has I need to just press something on this. Oh, Verstappen's car's broken. Yeah, so Verstappen in the pits. Oh, this doesn't work. Oh yeah, Brad Pitt's making an F1 movie, isn't he? That's a bit mad. Right, there we go. There we go. My remote for the TV is so temperamental that only certain buttons work. Nightmare when you're trying to do something. Spoiler alert, Brad Pitt will probably win. Yeah, one of the. No, I don't know if he's playing a drive. Wait, let me rewind and see what they said. I'll go back live in a minute. They did just briefly outline the plot. In retirement, old race. Okay, yeah. So he's going to play a part of someone that's retired and then comes out of retirement to help a young guy coming up through the it's American flipping, you know what I mean, cheesy American storyline with the heroic music at the end as they cross the line with 2 punctures and a, you know. It's one of them. It's one of them. But, you know, I'm sure that movie, just like Drive to Survive, will bring plenty of new fans on board. And at the end of the day, new fans is what we want. Yeah, pure cheese in it, Flabby. Like, if you're on a Hollywood cheesy one. I hate that Americans say race car driver. It sounds so childish. I remember the. I mean, it's factually correct, race car driver, but I remember once they introduced Hamilton onto stage in some American awards show as, please welcome Lewis Hamilton, race car driver. And I just remember thinking, oh, God. Like, they could have introduced him as Lewis Hamilton, 7-time Formula One world champion. Or, you know, Lewis Hamilton, arguably the greatest racing driver of all time. But no, they went with race car driver, which always makes me cringe when I hear that phrase. So Latifi's just done a lap time 8.5 seconds off the pace. So get in. That's why you're not going to be here next year, Nicky. Because you're 8.5 seconds off the pace. No, I'm joking. I can't slate him. He's on the experimental tyres on a long run, it looks like. With 21 minutes to go. F1 World Champion is so much better. Oh, he's so cartoonish. You know, they could have said Lewis Hamilton, 7-time Formula One World Champion. It's factual. It sounds good because it is good. But nope. He was introduced as Lewis, the race car driver. Brad Pitt on the back of the Red Bull garage. A mad one. So I don't know what's wrong with Verstappen's car. I don't think he's done very many laps at all. In fact, it should be on the screen. That totally messes up when I lean. Why when I lean forward does everything go wrong? What's that about? I've got to stay in this exact seating position for the green screen to work. Work that out. But yeah. So, how many laps has everyone done? This is the final column. Someone's only done 60. Magnussen's only done 16 laps. That's not ideal, is it? Especially when he missed the first session as well. So Magnussen is actually really on the back foot now. So he's missed FP1 and then only done 16 laps in FP2. Nightmare scenario. So he's done 26 laps. Schumacher's only done 21, but he did do FP1 at least. I can't even tell the guys at the bottom. Brad about to jump in Max's car and take it for a spin. Yeah. I remember they saying that about Shaq, you know, the basketball player. He's about 7 foot or something. Massive guy. You know, you must have heard of him, innit? Absolutely massive. He's 3 times the size of a F1 driver. And there's like, he's turned up to have a go in Lewis's car. Yeah. No chance. In fact, there's a picture of him stood on the podium with the drivers, and even though they're stood on the podium, he's still taller than them. Even though they're stood on the little platform. I think that was at this race last year, actually. I think that was at this race last year. He turned up in some weird, like, golden carriage or something. Mad. He's a mammoth, yeah. He's a mammoth. He's a beast. But flew a few times from LA to Miami. Yeah, monster human being. Yeah, man. He was here. He was at this race last year, I'm pretty sure. Because he did like podium interviews and stuff like that. Some sort of like ambassadorial role or whatever. I don't know. But he ain't jumping in anybody's car, him. He'd have to have something custom made. I don't even know. I'm not bothered. I'm watching an advert here. My name's Christine and I've got 5 beagles. I don't care what's happening on circuit. You're happy, you 5 beagles. But yeah, it's just basically been an hour and a half test session. This. The final practice session tomorrow night at 8 p.m. will be a lot more representative. They'll really try and push the limits, and then 11 p.m. qualifying. And the thing is now, even though the championship's wrapped up, right, you often get great races after the championship is won because it's sort of like gloves off. You know, Max can almost race for fun. Like, he's wrapped up the championship. They're about to wrap up the Constructors' Championship. I think I saw that Ferrari have to outscore Red Bull by 19 points this weekend just to take it to Mexico, which, you know, so Red Bull have virtually won the team's championship. Max has already won the drivers. So you get more of a gloves off kind of race where it's like, not that it doesn't matter, but there's less on the line. So it's like, just go. You know, so someone like Leclerc will think, right, pressure's off. Or, you know, Verstappen, right, pressure's off. Let's just go for it. So you often get actually great races. So, you know, it's not all lost. You know, the championship might be won, but hopefully we have a good 4 races to finish off the season. And then hopefully next season we have a proper championship battle again like we did in 2021. Yeah, that would be ideal. Hopefully Mercedes come back. Ferrari don't self-implode. And we get a 6-way fight for the championship. That'll do for next season. There's Robert Schwartzman on the Ferrari pit wall, having taken part in FP1 a few hours ago for Ferrari. Ferrari young driver, of course, in Formula 2. I don't actually know how well he's done this year, Robert Schwartzman, in Formula 2, but he's still in that Ferrari Junior program, so it can't have been that bad. 15 minutes to go then. And we're watching George Russell round the final corner and onto the pit straight. Russell, who sits 13th at the moment, but these times are not in any way representative. And he's not starting a flying lap. He's on a full cool down mode. And the drivers are fighting to retain their spots as well. Yeah, is there a lot of changes made by teams to find another driver? Yeah, obviously, you know, it's kind of like football in a way that you've got some guys on longer term contracts and then some guys that are like season by season just trying to survive, you know. So you've got, you know, obviously Max Verstappen's not fighting for his place, you know. He's got I don't even know, but let's say 3, 4, 5 year contract with Red Bull. Your top guys have got long contracts. So Leclerc has got a long contract with Ferrari, I think at least for another like 3 seasons. Who else has got? I think Lando Norris has got a big contract at McLaren for another 3 or 4 years. Some of the big names, you know, have got 10 to, you know, Hamilton always had big contracts. I think now he just sort of does 1 or 2 year extensions, does Lewis, but you know, Lewis has had big contracts and stuff. But yeah, for the bottom half of the grid, for the guys that are struggling to get into top 10, the guys in the you know, in the midfield teams at the back end of the grid and so forth, those guys, for a few of them, it's about survival. Lance Stroll's pretty safe because his father is part of the ownership of the structure of the team. So unless he makes an absolute balls up of it, Lance Stroll is always more or less safe. You know, like I say, unless he starts being embarrassingly bad, which he's not. You know, he's perfectly good enough to be there. So yeah, Lance Stroll's pretty secure. But the rest of them in those bottom teams, they're sort of season to season. So Mick Schumacher, for example, I'm a big fan of Mick Schumacher. He is absolutely fighting for his life out there. Every single race is like a cup final. So, yeah, he's under pressure. Teams are always looking for the next guy. I mean, unless you've got someone who's young, rapid. Like, for example, like Ferrari, they won't be looking for anybody. Do you know what I mean? They've got Leclerc and Sainz. It's a strong lineup for probably the next 3 years at least, I'd say. Unless something weird happens. That'll probably be the Ferrari driver lineup for the next 3-4 years. Red Bull will be happy with Verstappen Perez for probably the next 3 years, I'd say, at least. And then maybe Perez moves on or whatever. But we'll see. Schumacher 5th. Yeah. But yeah, just to finish on that point, Flabby, yeah, kind of like football, Some guys are on the long contracts and some guys are fighting for their life to be in it. So yeah, Gav, Schumacher fifth fastest. Yes, he is, but this session is weird because it's not representative at all because they're testing tyres for next season. And there's not many days of winter testing these days. So they're using this Friday Practice 2 session in Austin today to test tyres for next season, basically. So it's a mystery. Yeah, it's a weird one. It's a weird one. Yeah, so it's not really representative. It'll start getting representative tomorrow night, 8 p.m, when it's final practice. They'll be back on the normal tyres. Then it'll be relevant, and then we can start looking at the lap times properly. But for today, yeah, this is kind of a weird session. It's kind of a test session more than it is a practice session. It's sort of a bit like sunset. It's sort of getting the sun's getting low in the sky in Austin. It must be 20 past 6, something like 20 past 6 local time in Austin, Texas, something like that. So yeah, we're on a sunset mode. 10 minutes to go on this Friday night, late Friday night stream. Polar opposite to Japan when we was on at 4 o'clock in the morning. Now we're on at midnight. How we doing, Farhan? Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? With 9 minutes to go in this weird afternoon test session. I'm sure they've messed with that McLaren livery again. I mean, I know they had a couple of races with the pink on it, but I feel like the livery that they've gone back to is not the livery that they had before they went to the pink, if that makes sense. I feel like it's different again. I might be wrong. Daniel Ricciardo with his special edition crash helmet, as is like half the grid, running a one-off US special. There's another driver with a US special, Lance Stroll. I think the best one is either Esteban Ocon's Spider-Man helmet, or, which I can't believe no one's done before, or Zhou Guanyu's crash helmet. Zhou Guanyu's lid for this race looks sick. In fact, I find it on here. Look at this. It's one of the best designs I've ever seen. I see my likes. How do I see that? Go on my profile. Here we go, likes. Here we go. Oh, what? Oh yeah, Ricardo's looking good. Oh no, I know. I know what I did. I know. Yeah, look, either Esteban Ocon's Spider-Man special, which looks sick. And I'm only mentioning this because half the grid are running a special edition thing. But Zhou Guan Yu with the blue, with the navy blue and gold, that is next level. That's one of the best designs I've ever seen, actually. It's made to look like... Yeah, bro. It's made to look like... material. It's made to look like it's made out of leather. I can't see it on there. But it's made to look like it's made out of leather or something. It looks mint. Tiffany Cromwell in the Alfa Romeo garage. That is Valtteri Bottas's partner. This is like a preview of what it would be like to do a watch along on winter testing this. Oh, right. Ted Kravitz is showing us the Mercedes front wing, but the old Mercedes front wing. The legal Mercedes front wing, because the new one has been deemed illegal and they can no longer run it this weekend. So this is the... I don't want to say the word standard for a front wing that could cost more than a house. But, yeah, this is the standard Mercedes front wing. The one that's legal. Yeah. Oh, you can see the one at the back there. They've got an illegal one at the back here. You're not allowed to run it. It's just sat there. Slot gap separators. I mean, it's a new one on me, that. They're just like little winglets. Such a tiny detail, really. Well, it's not the tiniest detail I've ever seen. I mean, they used to make a flipping mountain out of a molehill over flipping monkey seats and bloody... Yeah, airflow conditioners. Airflow conditioners and slot gap flipping winglets. You know what I mean? Yeah, the mini fins, exactly. Exactly, Flabby. The mini fins. You're not allowed them. It's because they're trying to claim that I know exactly what they're trying to do, Mercedes. They're trying to claim that those... Yeah, they tried to do a clever one. They've tried to 3D chess it, you know what I mean? They've tried to pull a shiesty one, but the FIA, the governing body, are having none of it. They're going, don't even try it. They try to claim that those are just bits that attach that part of the front wing to that part of the front wing. Nah, mate, it's for aerodynamic benefit. And Gunter Steiner's having a right laugh at it as well. I don't know who he's talking to. I don't know if he's watching that footage of the front wing, but he's like, nah. But if you don't push the envelope, you never know. You don't know where the boundaries are, do you? But Mercedes have pushed the boundaries there. Mercedes are always pushing the boat out in terms of what you can put on the car. Mini fins. Maybe legal by next season. Probably not. Yeah, look, they're aerodynamic. Like, when you see a close-up like that, you can just see that the winglets, they're not like... Yeah, they're trying to say that they're like functional, like structural parts. They've told the FIA they're pretending as if they're structural parts, but the reality is they're aerodynamic parts. So You know what I mean? You can't do that. They're not structural at all. They're for performance benefit rather than structural integrity, which is probably what they're trying to claim. No. But Mercedes always try and push the boat. You know, they tried it with that DAS thing with the flipping the steering wheel that used to go in and out. Yeah, steering wheel that used to go. I can't even lift my hands up without the green screen messing up. But yeah, they used to have a steering wheel that come in and out, and it used to change the camber angle of the front wheels on a flipping mad. 2 minutes to go. They're on a full sunset here. It's a good job this session isn't like delayed or red flagged or flipping, because it would be a sunset one. Yeah, right. Structural parts. Exactly. Are there modifications to car design rules often? Yeah, every year it's tweaked a little bit, and then every few years, so let's say every, I don't know, there's no fast and hard rule to this, but every like 6 or 7 years there'll be a massive change. So from last year to this year was one of those massive changes. From 2014, no, sorry, from 2013 to 14 was a massive change, and then from 16 to 17 was a big change. Then like 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 was pretty static, little tweaks to the rules, and then bang, 2022 is a full reset. Yeah, so that's kind of how it is. Every year there's like small tweaks to the rules, and then every so often there's like a full reset where they go, right, we're going to try a completely different concept, we're going to get rid of that, we're going to change that, we're going to change that, and it's a full reset. And that happens, yeah, like I say, probably every 6 or 7 years you'll get like a full redesign of the entire thing, and 2022 is one of those years. So these cars are entirely different from the 2021 cars in almost every single way, apart from the driver that sat in it. Everything else is different compared to last season. But for next year, it'll be small tweaks upon this year, and for the year after that it'll be small tweaks, you know. And then I think you'll get to the end of like 2025, and then they're changing some engine parts. So for 26, they'll have slightly different engines, I think. They're getting rid of some of the complicated bits in the power unit. So yeah, that's how it is. They tweak it, and then every so often, boom, reset. I remember the biggest ones I've seen is from 2008 to 2009. That was probably the biggest one I've seen. 08 to 09 was like, you see the cars from 2008, they're like futuristic rocket ships. They're like, you know, we were saying about these little aerodynamic details. The cars from 2008 were the most futuristic they've ever been. And then 2009, bang, they took that all off, a full reset. And it looked like, well, they weren't good looking in 2009. And then it slowly went on 10, 11, 12, 13. And then at the end of 13, they changed all the engine regulations. So yeah, every sort of 5 or so years, you get and that's vital for the sport as well, because it gets too static otherwise. And if you get one team that's like totally like, there's teams that dominate a certain era. So you know, you had Red Bull dominate the V8 era, the back end of the V8 era, and they have Mercedes dominate the turbo hybrid era. You know, you have certain teams dominate certain eras, and this is the first year of this. I don't know how to say, like, new ground effect era, I'd call it. I don't know, but yeah. Anyway, I've managed to waffle away the last 10 minutes of this session, and she, in the crowd, has got the biggest set of binoculars I have ever seen in my life. She could probably see me sat here on the other side of the Atlantic with them binoculars. That is crazy. You're talking 2-foot long binoculars, mate. Boom, a wham bam binoculars for her in the crowd. She ain't looking at Formula One cars. She's looking at some geezer 15 miles away, chilling. Right, anyway, interesting stuff. There you go. Ever got a question, Flabby, or anybody else? I'm here for you. But I don't know everything. You know, there's a guy that comes in these streams called SHT, and his memory and knowledge is, you know, he can remember what happened on lap 17 of the German Grand Prix 15 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, that's beyond even me. Anyway, yeah, Chile flag. You know, what have they got a Chilean flag for down at turn 6? I do not know. Right. That's it. FP2 done. Or should I say, testing session done. That was not a practice session. That was a testing session. The times are irrelevant. It's not even worth going through it. But I'll take that as a podium. That's what I will say about that that scoreboard. Well, scoreboard. That timing screen. I'll take that as a podium. And they're just saying it in the commentary box. Tomorrow morning's FP3 is going to be, well, tomorrow morning American time. Tomorrow evening for us, that practice session is going to be critical. But yeah, I'll take that as a podium. Leclerc, Bottas, Ricciardo. I'll take that on a Sunday night. But yeah, that's been FP2. Funny stuff as usual. Oh, this is it. If we can keep you entertained. We're not on a silent one anyway. We keep talking. Hey, I tell you what, Flabby G, it's pretty close. Chilean flag and thingy. Right, anyway, we've got the outro music on a full wham. Right, guys, please do drop me a like if you have enjoyed it. I'll be back tomorrow 10 to 8 for practice 3 ahead of qualifying. That's going to be 11 PM qualifying to set the grid. Thanks for bearing with me through a long sort of hour and a half test session, but we've had a good chat. Sunset in America right now. But yeah, that's it, guys. I'm back tomorrow night 8 PM, well 10 to 8 call it, for that one. So peace out, guys. See you tomorrow. Cheers for sticking with me. Drop us a like, subscribe if you're into Formula 1. See you tomorrow, guys.